Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. Partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM.
Hey.
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, Mr. Larison?
I am doing all right.
Good. Congratulations on the award, 20 under 40?
Oh, yes. The
very cool recognition.
Coveted 20 under 40.
20 under 40.
That. Yes. Really appreciate that.
You were in good company.
Okay, so this show is partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture, and they want you to be able to spend your tax refund that you might be getting.
It's coming up.
Your, biggest of all time tax return coming your way, possibly on redecorating your home. So that tax refund, it can disappear fast, or it completely can change your home.
Whoa.
Robert Miller's Son and their tax time savings event is happening right now.
Yep.
And the more you upgrade, the more you save. You start at 25% off everything across the board. But if you spend more than $2,500, you save 30%.
Whoa.
If you spend over $5,000, then you're saving 35%. If you've been talking about replacing that worn out sofa, finishing the bedroom, or finally doing the whole room just right, this is where it makes sense. Go over to Robert Miller and Son and save this tax season with their tax time savings event.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate them for being a partner.
Appreciate it.
Over here
so
on
much.
the Mayor
Long
Tyler
time.
Show. Absolutely.
Long time.
So how are things?
Things are good. Yep. Kind of quiet right now. The weather is cooperating a little bit, so trying to get plans laid out for repaving once the asphalt plan opens. I think we've talked about this time before, maybe even last week. But yeah, the asphalt plan opens typically around the 1st of April, hoping Mother Nature cooperates and gives things a little more predictable. If they can open it a little earlier, that'd be nice to start getting on some things. But no, outside of that, just beginning of the year things, and just plugging away.
Love it. Very cool. Okay, so we got some people jumping in.
Yes. Good afternoon, all.
Already. We do have a lot of pre-show questions, as always, that we're going to get through. But if you do have any live chat questions, I will be pulling those over to my notes.
He's the master multitasker.
Yeah. I'll be pulling over the live chat questions over to my notes. I see some people asking questions that we have your question from pre-show, so don't worry about that. We do our best to ensure that, we're getting those questions pulled over as best as possible. There's a lot of those pre-show questions. So if we do miss those, I do apologize. We try to pull those over.
Not done on purpose.
Yeah, we try to pull those over up until the show starts as much as possible. So it's possible we miss some questions out there on the old internet, the wide web.
Hang on to them and throw them out next show.
Next show, or just put them in the live chat. We'll try to get those pulled over. So I do see some questions popping up over there, but are you ready to start the questions?
Sure. Yeah, let's jump right in.
Okay.
Got a lot.
First question is from Tiffany on Facebook. Are there any city plans for volunteer opportunities for the upcoming Earth Day? Also, have there been posts showing firefighters have switched to surrounding counties? Before annexation, do you think the city should commit to being a fully staffed fire and police force? Tiffany on Facebook.
So volunteer opportunities for Earth Day coming up, there will be, yes. I know Dave Trine, Operations Coordinator, is working on a few of those, partnering with some schools. Our Mayor's Youth Council actually meets this evening, and one of our outstanding students has put together a presentation to put together some programming, student-led, that will be offered not just on Earth Day, but hopefully throughout late spring and on into the summer to find ways to get out and help us beautify our trails, our parks, other common areas. So details to follow. And as for what was the other one? Firefighters leaving. Yes. So that hasn't been uncommon. A lot of departments are firefighters, and actually police as well, hopping from department to department based on pay, based on their what ends up being the base pay that their eventual retirement is based on as well. Some of them just for opportunities, but no, I mean, we're continuing to try and recruit and reload once those either retire. We've had more retire than we have lateral transfer, but it's just been an ongoing game of catch up from prior years. I mean, we've hired in the 6 years since I've been mayor, close to 50 firefighters and about 60 police officers, but just with the turnover mainly, again, with retirements and such, we're doing the best we can to keep up. And fortunately right now, they're doing what they can with what we've got. And so ideally fully staffed, no, but continuing to work our way up there as best we can.
Okay. Next question is from Anita on Facebook.
Hey.
I want to know why non-service dogs are allowed in grocery stores. It's just gross. People put the dog in their carts. Dogs lick their butts after pooping.
Whoa.
Anita says.
Look out. Yeah, that's because stores are privately owned, and I don't believe that, I don't know if other communities have passed anything in regards to dogs in certain stores. I know some of the more farm implement type of stores welcomes that, especially if there's dog products or pet products in there. But that would be up to the particular store owners to implement rules for within their facilities.
Correct. Next question is from NJ on Facebook.
Hey.
So I get many don't choose to be homeless and situations happen beyond their control. And some are just out there trying to survive. We have many programs to help in town and it's an ongoing challenge.
Very
I'm
blessed.
aware. That being said, many don't resort to begging and coming up to your car or yelling at you.
Right.
I've seen many posts of people saying that the panhandling is getting out of control. Other cities have put bans/regulations on panhandling. Can't we? There isn't a time I want a stranger walking up to my car with my kids in the car, especially when you don't know their intentions. One guy was just trying to actually get into people's cars. There has to be some city regulations or ordinances that can be put in place to stop this. At this point, it's a safety issue in many places around town. In NJ.
Yeah, especially if they're walking into the roadways and creating a safety hazard. I mean, right now there's nothing in place that prohibits that, but we are aware that other communities have things in place, and so we are ironically looking at a potential ordinance for not necessarily panhandling, but soliciting on streets, street corners, sidewalks, and such to see again what other communities have done and worked. I know that when we considered and passed the camping ordinance about those that are homeless sleeping in public areas. There were those that were very concerned and critical that we were criminalizing, homelessness and such. And so we want to be careful in regards to this as well, because as you mentioned, we don't know their particular circumstances. So ironically, something that we're looking at.
Okay. Deb on Facebook, if KPD is responsible for animal control when the Humane Society is not, can designated officers be trained in how to handle these animals so that we don't have another situation like we had on Saturday? I wasn't there. I don't know if the dog was aggressive or not, but I do know the dog had to have been scared. And then on top of that, it was tased. So of course it was going to be aggressive. Had the officer been properly trained on how to handle those dogs and have tools on board to be able to secure the dog like the Humane Society does, then perhaps that dog's life could have been saved. Deb on Facebook.
Yep, looking into that, because the last thing we want is to tase or to terminate an animal's life that has become too aggressive. But when public safety is paramount and the main reason for our police officers' service, then they take those matters in their own hand. But you are correct. We are looking into working with another provider that might be able to assist the police department that has the equipment, has the training and such. Because the number of calls and the need for our officers to be on the street patrolling and handling other things doesn't necessarily warrant at this time having somebody trained. Yes, they have limited experience in that, but we're working on an arrangement that will assist us at this time.
Okay. And before we continue on with some more questions,
Okay.
I do want to break real quick for an ad for our friends over at Blue Fox HVAC.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Brian with Blue Fox Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We're a locally owned, family-run HVAC and plumbing company built by 3 families who believe quality work and great customer service matter most. Since 2018, we've taken care of homes and businesses in our community with routine maintenance, repairs, new system installs, and emergency service work 24/7, 365. What sets Blue Fox apart is our skilled technicians, clear communication, creative solutions, and preventative maintenance programs designed to catch problems early and save you money. With over 900 verified Google reviews, our quality speaks for itself. When you need heating, cooling, or plumbing you can trust, call 765-233-6846 or visit bluefoxhvac.com. Blue Fox Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Elevated comfort, expertly delivered.
Okay.
Too cool.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you for Blue Fox for being a partner here on the show. Next question is from Caroline on Facebook. Will you, as mayor, ensure people will not be locked out of the meeting, as I heard that the door was locked at the last one, preventing people from getting in? Also, will you agree to a moratorium on the annexation for the industrial park? Caroline on Facebook.
Yes, we will assure that folks are able. So now that that City Hall is locked down, they're electronically locked. They're supposed to stay on or stay unlocked. I think 45 minutes to an hour into a meeting, but with the fire department, they're assuring that they're at not exceeding capacity, as well as some of the KPD officers will be monitoring the door, but others and such. But it's just the timer on the electronic locks. It was not done on purpose. It was not done to keep people out from the meeting. It was just simply the timer on those that can be reset. So yes, we will assure that as folks come and go, that either the door will be monitored, both doors will be monitored, or that timer be set appropriately. So, and as for a moratorium on annexation and rezoning, no, I mean it's a super annexation. It's the property owners that are requesting this. The fiscal plan now shows that the city can support it this time. I mean, yes, there's potential development that can come. Speculations on what that is. Yes, a data center is a potential use for that. So is a research and development facility. So is a farm implement factory. So is a liquid fertilizer. So it's other high industrial. And our hope is that we can get as many tenants and investors in there in that area as we can. And so, no, I mean, it's a chance at opportunity for additional investment and diversification in the economy. And so we like to see those opportunities be made available.
Okay.
Yep.
Next question is from Rick on Facebook.
Hey.
Tell us why you will not put a moratorium on data centers or any type of guardrails on the industrial businesses after a huge part of your constituents have expressed they're wanting this in person and online. You are elected to represent us, not corporations or the minority of people who are getting paid. Rick on Facebook.
Yep. So, again, guardrails on what development comes in. I mean, obviously, we have heard. They keep saying that we've not listened to the people, that there's concerns and such. I mean, so whatever ends up being proposed for that area, yes, there's going to be guardrails. Yes, we're going to make them accountable. Yes, we're going to look at the impacts that it will have on the environment, on the citizens and such, and act accordingly. I mean, so those safeguards will be put in place. I mean, yes, we're going to hope that the ideal development will bring additional jobs and have at least an impact on those, but no need, in my opinion, necessarily to put a moratorium on anything at this time, because everybody's bringing all kinds of information on what could be proposed, and there's nothing that we have seen development plan-wise from any of the owners or potential investors in regards to what they hope to have planned there. So.
Okay. Next question is from Christina on Facebook. Do you have the fortitude to fine fine GM or Fiat or whoever owns the Warrens Auto Parts downtown for owning a derelict building, or do you reserve that for poor elderly people that fall behind on the upkeep of their properties? Is eminent domain only available when it's against individual tax-paying voters? Is that why you want to annex farmland, even though the farmers are very against it? Because you'd never go against GM and reclaim the property they're letting pollute the earth. It's private property. So is the farmland you want to annex to turn into an industrial park. The difference is the land you want to annex isn't owned by GM. It's owned by farmers and regular people. After all our farmland is turned into industrial zones and data centers, will the people of Kokomo adapt to eating microchips and battery components, or will we need to start shelling at $5 to $10 for an ear of corn? Will human just need to adapt to unclean air or water, or will it be more cost efficient to import water and oxygen tanks? Christina on Facebook.
A lot of speculation in that one. Yes. The Warren Auto Parts isn't owned by GM, is owned by Chrysler. It was originally Chrysler's first factory in the Kokomo area. However, it is privately owned by Warren himself. He is in the process of selling it. Part of the reason why we haven't taken it back is just the cost involved with cleanup. We've been talking to developers, potential investors, to hopefully work with us in possibly securing that site and taking that down and making it more adaptable to repurpose. So that's our thought with that. We're not protecting them. That's been up for quite a while, and just up until recently was used for his business. Yes, a lot of broken windows. It's easy for folks that are board, either on the trail or along Home Avenue, to maybe stop and see if they can take out a window or two with a rock or something. But yes, it's been an eyesore. It's something that we're working on. It'd be great to continue to work to make something happen, so we'll work on that. As for annexing land, this isn't a forced and involuntary annexation. Again, those companies or property owners that own this land is asking and requesting to be brought into the city limits. It's still farmland now. So what will eventually be developed is yet to be seen. But no, I don't think that we'll have to ask folks to adapt to eating circuit chips or battery components or trucking in bottles of water and oxygen tanks and such. That's I don't think that's actually going to happen or be a need. So.
Okay. Next question is from Joanne on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Many of your constituents have major concerns about the upcoming city council vote to blindly annex land. What concerns do you have about blind annexation? Joanne on Facebook.
Bringing that in and then having companies not be interested in locating there. That would be my concern on having this annexed area be brought into the city, rezoned appropriately to make it available for development and diversification. So my concern would be is that that's done and it would not serve the purpose that it would like. Folks might be pleased with that because as long as it stays undeveloped, it's going to continue to get farmed. Those property owners have farmers farming it for them. Many of those owners of the farmland in and around the bypass are family-owned. Some farm it themselves. A lot of them pay farmers to come and farm the ground for them, and the farmers then pay cash rent, as it's called. So I think that's where there's a lot of excitement about that. There's farmers that don't actually own that land that are farming it that will lose out on that opportunity. But the property owners themselves are the ones asking to be brought in the city. So that would be my concern, is that our idea to grow and continue to provide additional opportunity at employment and diversification would not happen as quickly as we would like it to.
Okay. Next question is from Christina again. This one on the topic of the Humane Society.
Okay.
Since Kokomo Humane Society refuses to do the job they're contracted for, are you going to hire a new company or create a city-controlled department to do the animal control that's needed in this town? Or do you consider that not to be a city government issue, that the citizens should be personally responsible for like monitoring the parks in Indian Heights and calling the police instead of putting out more patrols? If the city can't do the simplest tasks that the citizens demand, like animal control, so citizens aren't attacked by random dogs on the street, why are we paying local taxes? Wasn't this whole country founded on the principles of no taxation without representation? If the city government fails in its duties to protect the citizens from harmful pollution, crazed dogs, or influence of drugs and crimes, what prevents us as citizens from removing every single last one of you from office? Christina on Facebook.
I guess nothing, but going back, because legitimate question at the beginning about the Humane Society and what we are doing. Yes, there was an unfortunate situation. We do have a signed contract with the Humane Society. A lot of folks think that there isn't one. We have a contract. The body of the contract itself does not provide, or the Humane Society does not provide after hours or weekend animal control services for the city at this point. However, there was an addendum signed to it that when in aggressive or severely injured animals, it was our expectation, according to that addendum, that they would come out in those cases and assist. Didn't happen on Saturday, but as I mentioned earlier in the show, we are in conversation with another organization that will support and possibly provide that additional service that the city would need, because, as I mentioned, the citizens' safety is our utmost importance. And as was mentioned, our police officers are not trained animal handlers. There are folks in the community that are. And so we're working on that because it is our job. The Humane Society is a non-for-profit. yes, the city pays them for the services in that facility and such, and it is taxpayer money. But we are now working toward a better solution since the recent contract appears to, or has been, adjusted from years prior.
Okay. Next question is from Johnny on Facebook.
Hey.
The city can't properly maintain its current responsibilities. Example 1, city officials sat on an EPA order concerning wastewater for 20 years and last fall passed another rate hike while borrowing $50 million to finally correct the problem. Example 2, last fall, the city council passed a new trash pickup fee that you proposed under the premise it would be used to pay for aging equipment. If you are not properly managing current responsibilities, why are you so eager to take on more? If these areas are annexed, the city has to provide services to them. That means taking even more from the taxpayer. You can't even provide services to the city as is without coming after us every few weeks in need of a new tax fee or fee proposal. What would be the justification for annexation? And don't tell me it's because the property owners want it so bad. Why would the city want to annex this space when it cannot maintain its current responsibilities? Johnny on Facebook.
So, okay, I'm not going to say it's because the landowners want annexed in. Yes, they're requesting, but the opportunity at additional investment, which increases the assessed valuation of those properties, which creates greater tax revenue, property tax revenue, potentially personal property tax revenue if they've got equipment in there. If they're bringing in employees as we continue to build housing, if we get them to stay here, that income tax will remain here. So that's additional money. So those investments with the annexation, with the potential for new jobs and such, will bring additional money in, so we don't have to go to the citizens for additional taxes and fees and such. The trash fee was implemented, yes, to assist the street maintenance and refuse department for that. Not only are we competing with fire and police wages in other communities, but our ASME workers as well. And so in order to have additional revenue to keep these qualified employees around, we're doing the best we can with that. That was part of the impetus for the trash fee. And then the first one was it going back through those? what was he talking about? The first, the EPA thing. So we didn't sit on this for 20 years. So the last part of that example one that we passed, an increased rate to pay for the bond for the final work to be done for the long-range control plan. The previous administration for the last 20 years, we've just had the last 6 of it. So the city hasn't been sitting. I mean, we've been dealt this 20 years ago. Well, 24 years ago, and there were small fixes that were done throughout the years in increments at the time leading up to this largest final one that was the most costly and expensive. And so, of course, no administration wants to take on work that's federally mandated without any funding source to do that would end up in a rate increase. I mean, so it's just timing, and is what we were dealt. We're just bringing it through to the finish line. It's not that we sat on it. It's not that we were fined. 20 years ago, nobody was fined for that. I mean, it was just part of the Clean Water Act. If municipalities across the country that had combined stormwater and sewer lines to do this, and so it's just the tail end of the small bits of work that's been done up until this point that we're now finishing up. So.
Got it. Thomas on Facebook, hey. You and the city council have repeatedly stated that you do not know what will go in on the new proposed industrial park. With our community's stellar history on businesses that pollute our water supply, do you not feel that blind annexation is irresponsible? If I were a county property owner and I approached you and wanted to be annexed by the city, what is the first question you would ask me? Thomas on Facebook.
Oh, we'd want to ask why you would want to be annexed in, and then we would do the fiscal plan. If somebody's voluntarily asking to be brought in, there's got to be some good reason for it. And so part of the initial fiscal plan for the annexation would be done. We would look into that for that. But blindly annexing property, I mean, it's not irresponsible if you're wanting to grow a community. I mean, if there's not available shovel-ready sites for industrial investment. And yes, folks can say, well, you got locations of the GM side. You've got vacant ground here and other parts of the city here that could be done. Some of it, again, as folks have pointed out, used to have corporations on it and such, and those have since gone away, and those sites have been remediated, and so there's only so much development that can be done, on some of that ground. Buildings that are available are privately owned. They've got to work with the developers on that, and a lot of the developers or site selectors don't see those buildings or that ground as being adequate for the needs for what their client would need. And so having something available and ready, in my opinion, is not irresponsible. It's responsible planning if we want to continue to grow and provide opportunities to Kokomo.
Okay. Matthew on Facebook. In the attached article, a Marion County official goes on record having signed an NDA concerning a data center that wanted to build in his district. Will the mayor go on record and disclose if he or any other Kokomo officials have signed such an agreement? Matthew on Facebook.
Neither myself, and I can't speak for the council because I mean, they're not here. I don't know what they've done, and if they've signed a non-disclosure agreement, they're not going to tell us because they've signed a non-disclosure agreement. But neither me nor anyone on my team, on my administrative team, have signed a non-disclosure agreement with any company in regards to any type of development that may be proposed for the anticipated annexed area that's going through the process right now.
Okay. Next question is from Chris on Facebook. Just wait till the city gets stuck with that Delphi GM plant. Anyone care to do some soil samples? That will be a bigger city Superfund cleanup than the Continental Steel was. Was bigger than the over $6 million in the city of Kokomo had paid EPA to clean up my shop lot that used to be a city dump and the city is on the hook for. So not really a
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
question
true.
is.
I mean, it's just like the EPA thing with the long-range control plan about separating the sewers. I mean, there's things that have been done in the past that now we're having to assist in cleanup of the GM site. I mean, that's GM's deal. I mean, they've got a flutter of activity out there. Not sure how much of their facility they can use or can lease out, but that's up to them. But yeah, I mean, we play with the cards we're dealt.
That's all you can do.
All you can do.
Next question. Let me see here. Actually, let's give a shout outs to our friend over at Affordable
Yep.
Pest Management before we move forward. Indiana's trusted choice for residential and commercial pest control, wildlife removal, insulation services, crawl space cleanouts, and full home protection. They deliver fast, reliable service with honest pricing and same-day emergency response when you need it most. They handle everything from general pests like ants, spiders, roaches, and bed bugs to wildlife issues involving raccoons, squirrels, bats, and groundhogs. Their team also provides crawl space cleanouts, vapor barrier installation, insulation upgrades, gutter cleaning, power washing, holiday light installation, and more, protecting your home and business inside and out. Homeowners, landlords, business owners, and property managers rely on Affordable Pest Management for clear communication, professional inspections, and long-term solutions that save money. New customers can get 10% off their first service when they mention they hear this ad on the show. Call them today at 765-450-8584 or visit them at indianaapm.com to schedule your service
They do it all.
or request a free quote.
Very cool.
Thank you to them being a partner of the show.
Yes, sir.
Sarah on Facebook,
Hey.
I would love to know why we can't get an officer whose job is to patrol downtown to enforce the 2-hour parking limit because the small businesses in downtown are suffering. The police refuse to enforce it. Sarah on Facebook.
They enforce it from time to time. I mean, yes, in the past we've had a parking official that's been a second floor non-contractual worker. There are in City Hall for the police department, and so there's been turnaround in the records division in that area of the second floor administration for the police department, and so they're in the process of trying to get that position hired. But we do have officers that are walking the beat, not throughout the many hours of the day. But oftentimes, if they're called, they do stop by. But yes, I mean, we understand that there are parking concerns with downtown. There's been parking concerns downtown for years. That the 2 parking garages helped alleviate some of that. The county taking down the Firestone building and offering those. I mean, I know those are for county officials during the day, so hopefully that frees up some spaces in theirs, but it's also available after hours. So we're continuing to look for opportunities to increase the parking footprint or parking availability downtown, but I get that it's a struggle, and it's unfortunate that people that have employees that allow them to park on the streets for longer periods of time, do take that, but it's something we continue to work on. I know it's a concern.
2 big garages downtown too.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back up here. Aaron on Facebook.
Hey.
When is Smith Road from 50 East to Toby Pike ever going to be done? It was closed and it has never been even started. What is the issue with completing jobs that are planned? Aaron on Facebook.
Timing, additional development, resources. I think that one was also part of what the funding came from our coordinating council or local MPO. And so a lot of that just happens to do with the timing of funding and the availability of resources. And so I know that's definitely something that yes, we were hoping to have had done before then, but circumstances come up that are sometimes out of our control. But it will be addressed, hopefully, yet this year.
Okay. Let's take another quick break just to talk about our friends over at Kokomo Antique
Yes,
Mall.
sir.
If you love the thrill of finding something truly one of a kind, you've got to check out the Kokomo Antique Mall. This isn't just a shop, it's a treasure hunt. With over 75 vendors and 3 full floors to explore, it's one of those places where you can wander for an hour and still feel like you've barely scratched the surface. You'll find everything from antiques to vintage decor to furniture, collectibles, home decor, and unique statement pieces that you won't see anywhere else. And Because it's a multi-vendor mall, the inventory is always changing, meaning every time you visit, there's something new waiting around the corner. Whether you're a collector, a casual browser, or someone looking for that perfect piece for your home, you're bound to leave with something that has a story. They're open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 6, and it's the perfect spot to spend an afternoon browsing, treasure hunting, and supporting local vendors all in one place, right here in downtown Kokomo. So next time you're downtown, stop by the Kokomo Antique Mall, where every visit feels like a new find. Shout out to them for being a partner on the show. Tim on Facebook. Hey. Mr. Mayor, a couple weeks ago on here, you said you wanted to restrict parking to one side of Imperial Drive. The city council was uncompromising with the residents of Imperial to restrict parking on both sides by a vote of 5-4. Will you either not enforce the new ordinance or repeal it? Tim on Facebook.
Well, I think that some of the residents down through there are, parking there, and that's, fine. I mean, it's been an issue to begin with, but because of the width of the road, if we allowed parking on one side, the street would have to be one way. And so for it to remain two-way, because of its size, they had to restrict parking on both sides. So what the ordinance or law says is that cars cannot be within 5 feet of the center line in a lane of traffic. So that's the reason for the restriction of parking on those. I mean, we're taking a look. I mean, there were 2 other streets also proposed in that ordinance, not just the Imperial Drive one that's basically is part of cleaning house. And there was a gentleman there that talked about the narrowness of his street as well, and before the end of the meeting had asked that we look into considering making his street no parking. I mean, so some of this has come from residents or individuals on those particular streets having concerns with the way folks are parking or not parking or navigating around things. So it wasn't that we were just picking on Imperial Street. There were 2 others, and the Traffic Commission is slowly going around and identifying these streets and enforcing what was already in place per ordinance or per law to begin with. So.
Okay. Amber on Facebook, downtown parking. There's not enough when all the lots are all private. Customers are having a terrible time finding parking. A lot of them cannot walk a block and a half from these parking garages. So we just discussed that earlier. Any more notes on that?
No, I mean, it's, I know a block and a half is a little long, but if it's around the corner and such, I mean, folks, if they go to the mall or go to Kroger and such, I mean, they're walking about the same distance to get in, but I get that it's frustrating if folks like to park right in front of where they're going. But we'll just continue to look at it because not all of them are private. The county has some, and if their employees are moving, there's the larger lot behind what used to be Jamie's Soda Fountain there at Mulberry, between Buckeye and Main, that typically has some spots as well that customers or the public can pop in from time to time since they're not going to be there all day. So still looking at it.
Okay. 1 second. Christina on Facebook, how much did the battery plant on Smith Road or Hilton Superior pay to destroy our roads during the construction processes? Are those companies going to fix the roads when they're done, or are we on the hook for that too? Christina on Facebook.
They didn't pay to destroy them. I mean, they're doing development for the city of Kokomo. I get that it's development that some people don't want or didn't want. But yes, once construction is complete in a lot of those areas, we do partner with them or use the tax increments that is experienced in those areas to put back in and repair or address infrastructure.
Okay. Kenneth on Facebook, will the mayor support passing a moratorium on any data center facility as part of the rezoning proposal? A few times you've been asked this.
Yes.
Today. Any questions?
No, just know that if whatever development comes in, that as we mentioned, I think somebody used the term guardrails. I mean, that we're going to be, intentional on setting parameters on what comes in, kind of the same way that we did years ago when there was talk of wind turbines coming to the east side of the county. there wasn't a moratorium placed on it, but restrictions were put in place that could have permitted them, but were more beneficial setbacks and such for the residents. None ended up getting constructed, so we will look to do the same thing with any type of development. I mean, we're going to make sure that the utilities are able to be provided, that they're on the hook for certain things and such, and so. No, we're going to continue to do our due diligence with anything that gets proposed out there.
Okay. Anne Marie's Boutique on Facebook. Good afternoon. Just wondering if the 2-hour parking is ever going to be enforced in downtown Kokomo. Aren't employees of downtown businesses supposed to park in the parking garage? Is in public parking areas to leave the 2-hour spaces open for customers, clients, and patrons of small businesses downtown? Does the mayor understand how much this hurts small businesses? Anne Marie Boutique on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're enforce it, not consistently, but we'll continue to work towards getting something dedicated. And even if we go out and chalk and ticket somebody, I mean, if somebody tickets somebody and they're there, I mean, there's still, a time frame before going and having them towed. I mean, they're ticketed first, and so, I mean, they could still be there longer than the 2 hours until, they would be in violation to have something towed. But yes, we're slowly working on getting that position filled so we can be more, and the weather has a lot to do with that too.
Sure.
Once it gets a little nicer, it's easier for somebody on foot to get out and about.
Charming Phoenix 1659 on Facebook. The east-west lanes at the Boulevard and Berkeley intersection need reconfigured with a turn lane. East-west lanes at the Boulevard and Berkeley.
Okay. Yeah, some of that may have to do with the availability or the easements on either side, but I think there's been traffic studies, because I know there were concerns with from Kokomo High School as well with the amount of time that buses sometimes sit there. So just the availability of the ground to widen that intersection, I mean, that's something that we can look at, but I know we did the work down at Lincoln and Berkeley a few years ago, but hadn't looked at Boulevard and Berkeley yet.
Okay. Jeffrey on Facebook. When are they going to slow down the cars on Imperial Drive? They are driving 40 miles per hour plus, and children live on the street. Jeffrey on Facebook.
We can try to get some direct patrol down there and try to catch people as they're coming out of the lot, or continue to look for measures to slow folks down. So.
Okay.
Good to know.
Susan on Facebook. When is he going to put street lights on city lights that were illegally forced into the city during Goodnight's administration? And why doesn't he return phone calls? Susan on Facebook.
I apologize if I didn't return a phone call. Give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I'll get back with you. But lights in areas that were annexed, just depends on where those may be, and Duke provides those, and so it's continuing to work with Duke in areas. I know we're still slowly working our way through Indian Heights, and a lot of that has to do with accessibility. We can't just throw lights up, so we'd have to work with Duke, or Duke work with the landowners to try to get the permission or the easements to place light poles. So just as we continue to work our way around the city, we can look at where they may need to go.
Okay, 1 second. Next question is from... let's do another ad read real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about our friends over at Wolf's Smokehouse.
Yes,
if
sir.
you're craving real barbecue, the kind that takes time, care, and serious smoke, then you have to check out Wolf's Smokehouse. Wolf Smokehouse is a locally owned smokehouse and barbecue shack at 502 North Main Street in Kokomo, and they're doing things the old school way. They use fresh, never frozen meat, and they don't rush the process. Their smokers are rolling from open to close because their tagline, "We smoke all day," isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. On the menu, you'll find everything barbecue lovers dream about: tender brisket, juicy chicken, savory sausage, fall off the bone ribs, and classic smoked bologna, all packed with flavor and smoked low and slow. Wolf's has a delicious signature sides, and they even offer catering so you can bring that smoke to your next party or work lunch. Here's the only warning. Because everything is made fresh daily, Wolf's is known for one very real thing. They sell out every single day. When it's gone, it is gone. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So do yourself a favor and get there early. Wolf Smokehouse, they smoke all day.
All day.
Okay, next question is a very long one with a lot of all caps text from Christina on Facebook. Where can we find your federally mandated public campaign finance records? You say you're not in anyone's pocket. Prove it. I don't need TV or movies to tell me that you are corrupt. 40 years of being on this planet, in this country, with eyes and brains has shown me that every single rat that's gained a political office in my life has been corrupt. How much does it irritate you that the people are asking real questions to hold you accountable instead of asking moronic questions like, what's your favorite sandwich? I think that's a great question. You learn a lot about somebody. Do you think I'll just go away if you ignore me long enough? Christina, okay. Because you should know.
I think we've answered all her questions because she's
single one.
Done every one, so we're not ignoring
do this
her.
Every time you answer questions on Facebook Live, I'll just get louder, more persistent, and a lot more abrasive. And if you ban me from the page, more will pop up in my place.
I think that was you.
If you banned anybody, the people of this country are waking up and we're mad as hell. You work for us and we will hold you accountable. You can bring in a Chick-fil-A and give them their own brand new street. When are you going to bring in some more grocery stores like Costco or Trader Joe's or even a Whole Foods? When no one in Kokomo can afford to pay NIPSCO or Duke for energy, does Kokomo have enough cemetery space for the people that won't make it from the cold winters or starvation? If you can't afford to run a refrigerator, it gets pretty difficult to keep food. Christina on Facebook.
Yeah, there was a lot. Campaign reports, Howard County Clerk. She probably asked that, or somebody asked that before.
I think last week, they got asked
people, I'm not ignoring. I'm answering them all.
I'm seeing what's your... or how much does it irritate you that people are asking real questions to hold you accountable?
It doesn't irritate me at all. I mean, that's why we do this each week, right?
Correct.
And that's why we have coffee and conversations through the chamber. That's why people can call up and make. I mean, I encourage Christina, if you're watching, which I think you are, make an appointment to come in and see me at City Hall. We can sit down with the city attorney. We can sit down with the development director. We can sit down with the planning commission director. We can sit down with the director of engineering. We can get any answers. There's nothing being hidden about that. But no, I mean, if to say that people are going to start dying and we need to have cemetery space, whatever. I mean, it's unfortunate that she's taking it down that road. I mean, if the city of Kokomo needs to continue to grow and to provide opportunity for its citizens. We love the automotive industry and have relied on it. Not everybody's automotive in nature. Not everybody has opportunities like that. So there's plenty of folks that are just as welcoming of the idea of annexation and a potential industrial park as there are those opposed to it.
I mean, she did bring up also some more grocery stores.
Oh, grocery stores, yeah. We talked about that too. Unfortunately, there's too many small box discount stores in Kokomo. So if she and others are hitting small box discount stores on a regular basis and keeping those thriving, we've talked to major grocers, not to some of that she had mentioned, but others, and it doesn't fit into their marketing plan because they see grocery opportunities or grocery options in a lot of our small box discount stores, which is why we put that ordinance in place to restrict the continued development of those. So what we're doing by increasing housing and increasing development and such here, hopefully we'll gain the interest of another major grocer to come up this area. I mean, we didn't even reach out to Heavenly Ham, and Heavenly Ham was like, yeah, we might want to be in Kokomo. There's a lot going on in Kokomo. That's what we want people to say. We want people to look at that and say, hey, there's a lot going on in Kokomo. We want to be there. And that's the only way we can do that, is continue to bring people and continue to bring opportunity, and hope that the right folks will continue to decide to locate and invest here as well. We can't force grocery stores to be here as much as we'd like to.
Got it.
We're trying.
Yep. Okay. And to those people who say we skip questions, trust me, if we did, I would have skipped a lot of those. Patricia on Facebook, a show. Wow. That's it. It's a show. I know one thing. I'm done trusting politicians. Man, there's so much.
Wow.
Man, okay. I am done. They care about themselves and bank accounts. Pathetic reminder, you did take an oath, or did you? Have the best interest in all of Kokomo residents, not just those who is telling you what to do. Reward money, that's called greed. God will have a few words for you one day. Why destroy my land I built and destroy water for a building? And why make innocent people pay while the building continues to profit? If it's so profitable, why do the citizens have to help pay to keep it running? Water and electric bills, we can't afford it. Patricia on Facebook there. I don't know if I got it. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully God won't have that same mindset for those that's helped Chrysler, now Stellantis, develop all the plants here that have employed hundreds and thousands of people through generations in the Kokomo area for almost 100 years now. Haynes International, what they continue to do and what they've been, world renowned in their manufacturing. And I mean, so there's been great employment and opportunities here based on that, and that's what we're trying to continue to do for the citizens of Kokomo. So yes, I took an oath to do the best that I can to serve the citizens of Kokomo, all 60+ thousand of them, and I get that not every decision we make or everything that happens in here is going to be the right thing or going to be going to make everybody happy. I mean, that's impossible. So even if we were to bring a new grocery store in here, there's probably a handful of people that say it was the wrong one. So we do the best we can, and I am a firm believer that God has given me this opportunity. I feel blessed to do it, and so I try every day to make sure that, when I do pass and meet him someday, that instead he says, well done, good and faithful servant.
Okay, those were all the pre-show questions. We're going to jump into the live chat questions, but first let's give a shout out to our friends over at Berrycom. If you're tired of buffering, spotty connections, or internet that can't keep up with your house or your business, it's time to switch to Berrycom. Berrycom is a local fiber internet provider serving the Kokomo area, bringing fast, reliable internet to the people who actually live and work here. Fiber means a stronger, more consistent connection for everything you do: streaming, gaming, working from home, video calls, running a business, all of it. And here's the best part. You're not calling some faraway help desk. With Berrycom, you're working with a local team that understands the community and shows up for it. Upgrade your connection and keep your day moving forward with Berrycom. Fiber internet built for Kokomo.
Yes, sir.
First live chat question is from Noah on live chat. My question is, why are you doing a podcast when Kokomo is a dump and you haven't solved the sewage issues in the city you just got sued for? I don't know why I felt like I had to read it in that voice. That's just what it was. Noah on live chat.
Not sure what we just got sued for in regards to sewage issues. I'd have to look into that, but I do a podcast in order to get information out to folks, to hear from everybody, because not everybody has the time to make an appointment or to come in or to hit at another event or something. And so this is just an opportunity, one, to get information out there, to let folks know what's going on, what's on my mind, and just to get to know me better. So Kokomo is not a dump.
Seth on live chat, please understand, I'm not trying to be a beep when I ask this.
Okay.
I'm genuinely curious. What was going through your head at last week's City Council public hearing when you tried to use building a home as an example to justify annexing land to build new factories? That can't even be covered by the good old apples to oranges idiom. That's more like apples to monster trucks. Seth on live chat.
I mean, apples to monster trucks. I mean, if somebody wants to grow an orchard they will look for the best opportunity or the best place or location to suit for that. If they're going to build monster trucks, they may not see something that's available that's an older building or a piece of ground that may be contaminated or not the right size, and so they want that opportunity. The analogy that I use is that mindset, not that building, or that if somebody builds a new home, they're building a new home because there's nothing on the market that suits their needs. When developers come into an area, they would love the opportunity to have a shovel-ready piece of ground because a lot of the other available buildings and stuff that's in the market or considered assets, fits their needs and satisfies their wants. I mean, so yes, corporations versus residential, but it's that mindset that the reason people don't buy something or locate someplace that's already developed is because it doesn't fit their personal needs or wants or amenities. That's the only reason.
Joseph on live chat, what are your thoughts on making the light at North Street that was down for a few days just a stop sign? I felt like traffic has slowed much smoother or has flowed much smoother when it was a stop sign rather than a light. Joseph.
Just for traffic flow. I mean, that's still one of the main streets. They're headed to the north end, and so I get that lights are intermittent and such, but the turn lanes come in, with the lack of turn lanes come into play because the unavailability to widen that intersection because of the properties or the landowners, the buildings that are practically on top of the intersection. And so if we could widen it, that might change it. But it's just for traffic flow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Next question is from Amber on live chat. Not sure if this is relevant to you, but who do we contact for a neighbor who has excessive chickens, which are causing a rodent problem? Did you see, by the way,
chickens crazy.
Kokomo was recently featured on an HBO show.
Yes.
Okay. And similar topic.
Right. It was the situation that happened out west. It was just outside of the city limits to the west. A
neighbor was trying to turn his front yard into a farm, and the neighbors fought it.
Correct.
Similar question here.
Similar. Yeah. So yeah, if it's considered a nuisance, they can call code enforcement, and code enforcement can come out and make sure they don't have it. Now, I guess I don't know how the chickens can create the rodents unless it's the chicken feed and rodents are working their way in. But if it can create a nuisance, you can certainly have code enforcement come out and check it out.
Okay.
See if there's some type of enforcement action.
Camden on live chat. Just curious because I don't know how much about them or what it's used for, but what will the data center do if it does come here? Like, what does a data center typically do? Camden on live chat.
It houses servers, and so everything that you throw into the cloud, everything that's AI generated, everything that's ChatGPT generated, everything that if you're posting pictures and doing memes and different flyers and all kinds of AI generated, I mean, that are facilities that are housing all this information that we are generating and that we rely on. Streaming services, I mean, you name it, it's because it's computer generated. These data centers are buildings that house large numbers of servers to collect all this information and store it for us. I mean, it's when things go to the cloud, it's not, in the air or actually in a cloud. It goes to a file server, and so a lot of these data centers are just that.
Nikita on live chat. In Kokomo, many families are struggling with low wages, and Indiana's minimum wage hasn't changed in years. What is the city doing to attract higher paying jobs and ensure residents can make a livable income? Also, mental health access is a serious issue. When my son had a breakdown, we waited hours in the ER just to speak to a psychiatrist on a TV screen. What steps is the city of Kokomo taking to improve in-person mental health care and crisis services for Kokomo residents? Nikita on live chat.
So go backwards, the mental health, I mean, doing what we can, because the hospitals and service providers say that there's no city clinic, there's no city ordinance in place that mandates these things, but we support those organizations that provide that. Look for opportunities that we can partner with to maybe try and do so if she's got ideas and thoughts with that as well. Always open to that. What was the first part of that?
talking about just low wages.
Oh, the low
minimum
wages.
wage
Yeah.
and things like
What are we doing? What are we doing to attract more higher paying jobs? We're
Say
in the
it.
process of considering a super annexation in an area to create a dedicated industrial park that will hopefully bring additional industry that would also bring higher skilled and higher paid jobs.
Got it. Christina on live chat. This is a different
Okay.
Christina than earlier. Will you support a data center in Kokomo if the industrial park comes and surrounding neighbors don't want it? Will you guarantee our property values won't drop? And if they shouldn't, the city and the industries will be responsible for my loss. Christina on Facebook. So will you support a data center in Kokomo? And then
Within reason. So,
yeah.
Yep. I mean, with parameters and such. I mean, they can't just come. I mean, we've heard it across the state. We've heard it across the nation. We've heard it across the community. I mean, we're going to make sure that we're not irresponsible. And because this proposed land that's being annexed in is right around 700 acres, a lot of these data centers have been on 12, 13, 1,500 acre parcels. This one's right around 700, but it's got the bypass cutting right through the middle of it. I mean, so if anything comes, there's going to be additional, need for ground and such, or it's not going to be that large of a facility. If it's a data facility, yes, that's a data center is a permitted use for that, but it's not the end all. But we will be as responsible and intentional as we can to assure that what goes in has the least amount of impact environmentally. Property values, the same question that has been brought up with solar farms and wind farms and such. I mean, nobody can guarantee property values, those valuations. I mean, even if appraisals are done and such, I mean, because it would going to be the opposite of it. So there's been no way that we have seen or heard that municipalities, I don't even know if companies do when they come in and develop, can assure or guarantee property values. Now, some developments come in like solar farms or wind turbines, and they pay an annual fee to adjacent property owners for their development to be close by. That would be up to the developers or the companies themselves in those situations, but not as in a municipality.
Okay. Wesley on live chat. Question, as the downtown continues to grow, are they going to be expanding city parking? So we talked about that earlier.
We're looking at opportunities that may be because there's only a few lots available. May have to look at an additional parking garage in an area. So we're just looking for opportunity.
Okay. Next question is from Calvin on live chat. Since Kokomo finally got a Chick-fil-A, when can we sign a petition to get a Denny's back in Kokomo? They're never happy. Finally got a Chick-fil-a. Now they want a Denny's again. Back. I swear.
Denny's would be fun to have back. Good memories
what
there.
What a grand slam development that would be.
Moons over Miami.
Any comments, I guess, on that? Sorry, I kind of took over that. Tiffany on live chat. Are you both on the charity basketball celebrity team for the upcoming Bonavista Vista ball game? Are you?
I am. Are you?
I can't make it this year.
Oh,
this is the first time in years I am happy to be out of town.
I need to get my little promo video out and attach my link and see. Easy Zimmerman's got a really good video. He put some time and effort into that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm bummed, Tiffany. I usually love that, and that is like
it is a good event.
One
March
day
18th.
of the year, my kids think I'm like the coolest person in the
Memorial
world that day,
Gym.
so it's a bummer. Nikita on live chat. I am a single mother working 2 jobs while trying to support my son who struggles with mental illness and is on the autism spectrum. He wants to work, but he cannot keep a job due to his condition, and Social Security denied him. What is the city doing, or what can it do to bring supported employment programs to Kokomo for individuals with mental illness and autism? Can we create partnerships, incentives, or city programs to help those young adults become stable and independent? Well, the irony of that question right after the Bonavista question.
I mean, so I don't know if she's looked into DSI or Bonavista, and there's also other organizations, corporations in town that do offer programs or employment opportunities like that. And if it's something that's not specific to DSI or Bonavista, they may have connections with other organizations in town to do that. I know that the city, does not, outside of just supporting Buena Vista and other organizations that provide those opportunities, but always open to pursue possibilities.
Okay. Thomas on live chat.
Hey.
And you are okay with allowing the same thing with someone else? This was a live chat question. I don't know the conversation we were having when this came through. You even mentioned a chemical fertilizer plant. Are you kidding me? Why not just offer the land as a toxic waste dump? And then second question, is your family at Meridian Title handling the title work on this super annexation? Thomas on live chat.
I don't think so. My brother's the only one that still works at Meridian Title. My father has passed, and my mother has no ownership in Meridian Title. Meridian Title is out of the South Bend and Mishawaka area. Yes, my brother is still employed there, but I don't know who's doing the title work on that. The individual owners, obviously the IEDC and SAM, a lot of those have already purchased. I don't know if there's existing purchase agreements that are pending, subject to annexation and rezoning, but no idea because we weren't involved in this. The city's not taking ownership of this ground. The city is not spearheaded or prompted this annexation. These are the individual property owners. Yes, many of them corporations, and some corporations that have already bought from previous landowners, either farming families or individuals that had the ground farmed, just like the ground in the battery plant and its suppliers. So city's not taking title to any of that outside of the streets. I mean, we'll be responsible for the streets in through there. That'll be the streets and right-of-ways will be the only thing that the city owns in those areas. So, don't know.
John on live chat. I have a friend who got behind on their property taxes and their property was put up for a tax sale. Do you think it's okay for to take someone's property simply to pay property taxes? Property taxes in general is an interesting topic throughout the country right now. I know Florida actually passed one of the votes to remove property taxes completely.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Some states don't. I mean, so the income tax gets jacked up, the sales tax gets jacked up. There's other fees. I mean, they talk about trash fees and other user type of fees. I mean, these other states that don't have property taxes get their revenue from the citizens another way, whether they're user fees or other non-property type taxes and such. I know the Indiana legislators tossed it around for a number of years about looking at that possibility, but it would be a delicate thing that to make sure that the revenues are replaced once the property tax revenue would be removed. But having a property taken by tax sale because the property taxes don't get paid. I mean, the property taxes again fund municipalities that provide services, fire protection, police protection, trash, and not just that property, but streets and everything. I mean, county has services they provide as well. I mean, and Kokomo is no different than any others. So, I mean, it's been a delicate debate, I think, in regards to that about having property rights and having that taken kind of the same way. I mean, if somebody mortgages a property in order to purchase property, there's folks that say, well, they shouldn't be able, even though they may not be able to pay back the mortgage at the time, they should be able to make arrangements and not taken. But there's that as well. So interesting discussion and argument.
Yeah. Allie on live chat. Do you feel valuing non-local property owner requests over local residents who work and have invested here for generations sends a negative message to where priorities lie? Do you think the voters will feel the same? Allie on live chat.
Say that again.
Do you feel valuing non-local property owner requests over local residents who work and have invested here for generations sends a negative message to where your priorities lie? Do you think the voters will feel the same?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it speaks to where my priorities lie. I mean, yes, some of these property owners, the majority of them may not be local, but that area is providing additional opportunity for folks to potentially work, make a living, and bring income in. I don't think by doing that we're necessarily taking any other opportunity away from others that live and work within the city that are citizens of Kokomo. But yeah.
Okay. Jordan on live chat, what is something you've taken from the show and went back to your office and made a change regarding after hearing the citizens' comments or questions? Well, there's probably been multiple things.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, some of the stuff, some of the items from today, I mean, going back and continuing to look for a solution or a resolution in parking downtown. The issue with the Humane Society, we're, dealing with that. But from the past, I think there's been times when folks have mentioned either conditions on a particular street or concern with lighting here or another condition or issue that's come up that hadn't been brought to my attention, go back and getting with that particular department head, or having those small handful of department heads that watch the show on a regular basis, they themselves, if I get text afterwards, hey, we're running over, we'll address this, or we're going to look into this tomorrow, or we'll address that, yet this week, or it's coming. I mean, so a lot of it, is just work that ends up being done or reassigned to the department heads to address when things come up.
NJ on live chat with my favorite question of the day. What's your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich, probably a Reuben. Usually if I get to a restaurant and they've got a Reuben on the menu, I'm going to try it because I'm always in search of the perfect Reuben. Kind of like when I go to events or fairs and such, I'm always in search of the perfect corn dog. But I don't think the corn dog was a sandwich. If the corn dog was a sandwich, it would be a corn dog. But
Do you think a hot dog is a
I'd
sandwich?
have to go with the Reuben. That's come up too.
It's a big debate.
That's a huge debate.
So do you
meat in a bun? It could qualify it. It could probably.
I'll leave this up to the chat. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Leave yes or no in the chat. I'd love to think what you think. I go back and forth on the daily on it. It's really interesting. Amy on live chat.
Hey,
are we ever going to get a Wawa?
I don't know. I mean, if they decide to come this direction and find a location that fits within our ordinance or is close enough that might gain the permission from the BZA to develop within the restrictions that we have in place, similar to the small box discount stores, never say never. I think
Vito in the chat says a corn dog is a burrito.
Oh.
Fascinating.
I could go for that.
A hot dog is a sandwich. Yes, says Nolan. A hot dog is not a sandwich, says Thomas. Nikita says yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. NJ says no. The most engaging question I've ever asked in the chat is about a hot dog sandwich. I'm telling you, it's a hot debate. Nolan on live chat. I'm interested in filling that position for taking care of the downtown parking issues. Could you get me in touch with who I need to talk to?
Second floor police department.
There you go.
We'll get an application to the third floor in HR and indicate that it's your desire for employment with the police department. And then if they're hiring for that job specifically, then they would. I mean, otherwise, it's, again, one of the administration employees that then gets released from time to time throughout the day to go and address that. But, yeah, slowly ramping up. HR for an application, put on there that you're interested in police department and being parking attendant or parking enforcement.
Denise on live chat. The street sweepers have been out and about. They have cleaned our street a few times this year. I had not seen them in our neighborhood without calling and requesting. Good. They come through. I appreciate them coming through. It makes the neighborhood just look a little brighter.
Awesome.
Denise on live chat.
Yeah, when we get this unseasonable weather like that, I mean, because a lot of stuff has collected. I mean, we love that they have the opportunity to get out and run those in areas.
Okay. Sandra on live chat. Hey. Why can't you build a facility for the homeless instead of putting them in jail if they're spotted where they don't belong? Second question, why can't we get a Dave & Buster's here? I'm tired of Chuck E. Cheese, Sandra says.
So we don't
from Sandra today.
Don't necessarily always arrest the homeless. I mean, the police officers, when they engage them, try to get them to a facility that has services. A lot of them just don't want to go. But, I mean, we don't automatically arrest them there. I mean, unless they're becoming unruly in case they're endangering others' safety and such. They're not getting thrown in jail. They get moved along to other areas, or hopefully to find something that they can accommodate. And Dave & Buster's, if she's got somebody that we can contact at Dave & Buster's to see if they'd be interested in coming, that'd be super.
Got it. She's sick of Chuck
E. Cheese. I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in a while.
Me either. Thank God. Christina on live chat. How did the city council buy some of this land that is going to be annexed?
They didn't. The city of Kokomo does not own any of the land that's being annexed into this. The only property that the city would own in this annexation would be the streets. I know there was comments made that part of the ground is owned by the Howard County Commissioners, and why don't they have a say, or they should be able to? Do they? Why are they being forcibly annexed? The land that the county commissioners or that the county government owns are the right-of-way easements along these county roads that will eventually become city roads. I mean, so there's property all over the city that is owned by the Board of Commissioners, because prior to them being annexed in, they were right-of-ways on those county roads, and when they became the city roads, those easements, those right-of-ways, still fall under the ownership of the Board of Commissioners. It's the same way, out there. It's just right-of-way along the county roads that, because it's under the ownership of the Board of Commissioners, it automatically, per statute, gets brought back in just because it's right-of-way. It's not necessarily large parcels.
Okay. Last question of the day from Vito on live chat. Shout out Vito. When will people understand that the city/county can't force a company or a business to come here?
Some people do. A lot of people, and it's just it's innocent assumptions. They see things come in, and obviously a lot of these developments have to go through the planning commission, or they may need to get rezoned. I mean, so when the city gets involved, or in some cases even developments, if there's the need for assistance from the city because the city touches part of the plans and development from time, people automatically assume that we're the ones that are bringing in the chicken restaurants and saying, okay, you can go here and you can go here and you can go here, and then coffee shops, we want you in this parking lot and we want you over here. No, I mean we can have conversations with them, but when they find the space that they want to be in, that's where they end up if we want them here. Got it.
Well, there you have it. Thank you guys for those questions. They
Good stuff
today. The pre-show questions, as well as great conversation in the live chat today.
Hopefully you didn't miss any.
I think
if we did, send them on, or
we'll get them next show. But I think we got them all today. So appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions for next week's show, as he was saying, leave it in the chat here below, or we do always put out a post on Monday morning calling for questions for those pre-show questions too. But we should be here next Monday doing the same thing that we always do. So, Mr. Mayor, do you have a dad joke for us today?
Yeah, so driving around yesterday, I noticed that front tire of the car was a little low, so I pulled in the gas station, the little air machines, and I remember back when those were free, it was $2.
$2 for air?
$2 for air.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. Do you know why?
I don't know.
Inflation.
That's a good one. Oh, that's really good. That's one of your best ones.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partner with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. As always, thanks to our other partners, Blue Fox HVAC, Antique Mall, Kokomo Antique Mall, Indiana Pest Management, Wolf Smokes Barbecue, and Barry Com for being partners of the show.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all the live chat, engagement, and questions today. We'll see you next time, Kokomo. Have a good week.
See you, Kokomo.